So me and the man, we were sitting around the big parlor room, and lo and behold, what do you think we're doing? It just so happens, sometimes you're watching TV and you see a certain character, and it just so happens he's in this movie, that movie, or the other movie. It could be from the 1950s or 60s, then the 1970s. Then when he's a little bit older, he's in there from the 1980s. We've been seeing lately we've been watching a lot of Johnny Depp movies. And in this movie, a younger Johnny Depp, maybe like a 31, 32-year-old Johnny Depp, he was a guy who claimed to be a marathon runner, even though he wasn't what you would say, like really dedicated to the marathon. So in the movie, he goes and he pays his $250. He signs up for the New York City Marathon. He's bragging to all his friends he's going to be a big marathon man. He runs marathons, and they show him the movie. He runs the marathon. He goes, he signs up. He pays his entry fee and everything. He shows them whatever documentation. They give him a T-shirt that says, "I ran the New York City Marathon," and he's out there on that bridge. They blow the whistle, he starts running. Right away, he starts gasping. He's getting like drool, he's like spitting. He's getting a lot of phlegm up. You're like, this guy, he couldn't possibly run a mile and a half. Well, sure enough, about a mile and a half in, he starts throwing up a bunch of raviolis. It was disgusting. You couldn't believe this shit. So he drops out. Well, he goes back and he tells all his friends, "Yeah, I ran the New York City Marathon." He doesn't really mention the fact that he only ran like a mile and a half and it wasn't even that good, and then he vomited and then he dropped out. But he's got the T-shirt, He paid his money, he signed up. So what does he do? He goes up. He runs, in the movie, he goes up, he runs the Boston Marathon. Same thing. About a mile and a quarter, and he's gasping, he's hoofing, and the people around him are like, what the hell? This guy's got to be an imposter. You're not training. You're not training for this. Well, it turns out they show the backstory and what Johnny's doing to train. He ain't doing nothing. He's sitting around on the couch. He's playing video games. He's wolfing down pizzas. He's smoking cigarettes, and he's drinking a lot of beer. This is how he's training for the marathons he's running. All right? Well, he has the money, so he pays the entry fee. He gets the T-shirt. He shows up on the morning. It's a brisk, chill morning. He stretches his legs and everything. He starts running. Right away starts burping like he's going to pass out, It's like disgusting, Whoa, Johnny, what are you doing? It's like starts spitting like he's got a lot of drool forming. About a mile and a half in, he vomits up all these raviolis. You're like, what? Johnny, come on, man. This ain't, But yeah, he says, they said to him, so anyways, about halfway through the movie, people are like, hey, bud, you're not really what you would call a marathon run. You're claiming you run the New York City Marathon 2 times now. You say this is the second time you've entered and run the New York City Marathon. You run the Boston Marathon. But really all you're doing, about a mile into it, you're vomiting up all these raviolis. Johnny says, that's what I do. I carbo load. I eat a bunch of Chef Boyardee cold raviolis, and it just so happens so I can't hold them down. Why? It's not my fault, but I ran it. Yeah, I dropped out a mile and a half in. So what? I'm a marathon runner. And that's not really a marathon runner. If you don't finish the marathon, Johnny says, whoa. In the movie, Johnny's like, hey, bud, how do you define me? How do you tell me what I am? I'm telling you, what do you call it? I whatever you say, I identify as a marathon runner. So I don't finish the marathons. So whatever, that got red drool coming out across my chin, and eventually I vomit. I drop out. I got the T-shirt. I paid my entry fee. I'm a marathon runner. I participate in all your bigger marathons. I identify as a marathon runner. Like, hey, bud, that doesn't make you a marathon runner. You got to finish a couple marathons. You got to try. You're not even getting the 5-mile mark. You're not even getting the 2-mile mark. You drop out within a mile and a half every time. Everybody's like, no, you're a fake. You are a fake marathon runner at best. And Johnny's like, no, man, I identify as a marathon runner. So to what, therefore, I am a marathon runner. I define myself as a marathon runner. I'm like, man, you're a fake. Like, how dare you? Johnny in the movie's like, how dare you look me in the eye and you tell me I can't pursue my dreams. I can't identify as a marathon runner. All I have to do to be a legit marathon runner is identified as a marathon runner, regardless of the outcome, regardless of whatever it is. I say I'm a marathon runner, therefore I'm a marathon runner. And the whole movie went on like that. It was pretty good, because everybody's like, you know what? Hey, Johnny, hey. He identifies, at the end, you're like almost getting a little bit, emotional about it. You almost brought a tear to your eye to see Johnny standing there, at the 1.25 mile marker with a bunch of ravioli juice running over his chin, saying, hey, and looking proudly over the horizon. He's like, yeah, I'm a marathon runner. Everybody loved it. He identified that way, so that's what it meant. That's what it was. He defined his own reality. And hey, it was a wonderful thing. Everybody loved it. Everybody was excited about it. Everybody thought it was wonderful. And I gotta admit, me and the man, we loved it.